Imagine, if you will, you are a K-pop trainee. You want to be a K-pop artist. You've gotten into a company, you've trained for years, maybe left your home country to follow this dream. You're working hard, but then your debut is canceled. For whatever reason, your debut is canceled, and then not even 6 months later, the company you were supposed to debut under announces their AI group. You didn't debut, but the robots are. This is all happening utilizing Supertone, presumably, which Big Hit just poured a bunch of money into. And the thing is, it's a voice cloner. They offer voice cloning. Now, they apparently do other things, but voice cloning seems to be what HYBE is talking about. And you may have heard about voice cloning in the news maybe recently because it's being widely used for AI voice scams. Basically what people are doing is they're replicating your loved one's voice and they're calling you asking for money because they got in an accident, or they're pretending that they have your loved one kidnapped and are asking for ransom. That happened to a mother in Arizona literally just last month. She got a phone call supposedly from her 15-year-old daughter crying and asking for help, and then there's the scammers on the phone talking about, give me $1 million, Fortunately, she was at dance practice with her other child, and there were people around, they were calling the police, calling her husband, and they were able to figure out that no, she was safe in her room. But when she was being interviewed about it, she said it was completely her voice. It was her inflection. It was the way she would have cried. I never doubted for 1 second it was her. That's the freaky part that really got me to my core, and it should, because that is terrifying. Nowadays, voice cloning technology is improving so much that it can use as little as 3 seconds of your voice to be able to spoof an entire thing. Now, all this doesn't necessarily mean anything for this situation, but it's just, AI is getting way out of control, guys. Long story short. Okay, MIDNATT isn't the first. Mave still exists. We all saw that happen. SM made the really weird decision to feature Nævis as a feature on one of aespa's new songs. And all of that is really where it starts to get ridiculous. An entertainment company with human trainees and artists debuting an AI group is pretty insane. It's what does that do to the artists and trainees that you have when you haven't debuted, or when your existing artists have projects to work on and you're over here using resources on computer images? Computer images that they don't complain, they don't have opinions, they don't need to sleep or eat or have clothes tailored or practice for any real amount of time. It would do whatever you want them to do. It just really sounds like a recipe for disaster. Now you might be saying, hey, got the beat, step back, silly girl. That just sounds like Vocaloid. And you're right, it does sound a lot like Vocaloid. And they are similar, but I think there are a couple very important differences between the Vocaloid industry and if Nævis actually debuts solo. Vocaloids aren't created by entertainment companies. For some famous examples, Miss Hasane Miku or Megurine Luka, they're from Krypton Future Media, which they create music products. They do things like software, audio libraries. And Internet Company Limited is another software company that has some Vocaloids like Gumi, and they're voiced by real artists. It's not AKS, or however you pronounce Morning Musume's company. They're not entertainment labels. They aren't the ones that are putting out these groups. HYBE Entertainment, SM Entertainment, they are. Vocaloids don't do interviews. Vocaloids don't do fan meets. When you look up interviews for Vocaloids, it's with the producers. With SUPERKIND, which is definitely one of my least favorite examples, one of the worst examples that exists, they have these AI members in their in their content, in their videos, in the dance practice. They take up screen time from the real people. I can't stand the SUPERKIND situation. They added another one. There's 2 of them now. On K-pop profiles, okay, this isn't maybe not the best sample, obviously, but there's 42,000 votes, almost 43,000 votes from 31,000 voters on this poll. And the computer-generated image, it's not even a robot, the computer-generated image is the most biased. People like the graphics more than the human beings. I hope it's a joke. But can you imagine working hard, training, singing practice, the vocal lessons, the dance practice, the work you put in for you to debut, and someone likes the artist rendition of a human? Someone likes the AI the artificial intelligence more than you. They have more votes than you, and by a lot. Sejin's in thumbnails. Like, he has screen time. He has solo screen time. The AI. Another reason why the vocaloid situation isn't the same as what's going on with stuff like this is that vocaloid music is like its own genre, you know? So it's not really competing with the human people in the same way. When you debut Maeve, when MIDNATT happens, with SUPERKIND, they're up in there. It's all still K-pop. It's all still the same genre, the same category of music, rather, because it's really not a genre. I wanted to point out so that we're all aware that, yes, Maeve is also not produced by an entertainment company, you know, one that also produces groups. So they're more like Hatsune Miku in that regard. However, I keep bringing them up because they're competing, you know? These AI groups have time slots on the music shows. There's something else. Unless I just can't find it, I don't see Hatsune Miku on the Japanese music shows. But Maeve's performing on Music Core. That's a time slot that a smaller group didn't get. Because the robots, because the AI had to perform. So because Vocaloid artists, Vocaloid music isn't created by entertainment companies, because it's treated as if it's its own separate category, because they don't one-to-one comparisons with human artists, because they're not taking up screen time and lines from actual human people, it's not the same thing. And that's really where the issue comes from with SUPERKIND, is that they're taking time, resources, attention, they're taking up space away from the real people that are working hard to debut in this industry. It's pretty oversaturated as it is. There are so many groups out, so many artists out, people who never get attention, people who debut and disband without really anyone even knowing about it, for flipping AI to get in the way. And AI are just perfect, aren't they? They always look how they're supposed to. They always act the way they're supposed to. They'll never get in a scandal. They'll never want to do something different. They'll never leave because of musical differences. They'll never leave for personal reasons. And doesn't that just sound wonderful for a company that only cares about money? Why invest $100,000 a year? Why invest any money at all into real people? I don't know how much it costs as far as like literal money to do these AI groups. But as far as other resources, like the time, the personnel, the food, the dorms, the transportation, all that comes with real people, if you don't have to spend that money, why? Why spend that money? I firmly do not believe that the public is going to favor AI groups so much that real human artists are going to suffer, like as a whole. Like I don't think we'll reach a point where people prefer the robots, prefer the computer-generated images over human beings as a whole. However, it is definitely concerning that any really, especially these big companies, are pouring resources and energies into this instead of the people that they were responsible for, their artists, their trainees. Why would you do that? I hear tell they're going to add more people to SUPERKIND too. More, you know, not people. Oops. Let me not say that. More AI to SUPERKIND, and I would lose it. Not going to be surprised if the actual members end up leaving, to be honest. Really quick, the reason I singled out Nævis and not the girls is because Nævis would actually be AI. Nævis is a fictional character. The counterparts of the members of aespa, they're counterparts. They're the virtual world versions. They're not separate people. Like they definitely went on that, oh yeah, we're an 8-member group for like 0.5 seconds, but no one takes that seriously. No one actually sees the eyes as actual members of the group. The eyes aren't taking up screen time in performance videos, in behind the scenes. That doesn't happen because the human girls are the members. The eyes are their counterparts. It's not the same thing as this fool in SUPERKIND. And including the eyes in a performance, even having them show up during a music video, is not comparable to the entire group being AI and you're over here still a trainee or whatever, or what's going on with SUPERKIND. Now, I know there's supposedly, there are real voices, unless they're also clones. I'm pretty sure there are real voices behind Maeve, and I assume there's a real voice behind the SUPERKIND member. Is it Sejin? And if it's the situation where the artist, the person said, I don't really want to put my face out there. I don't really want the hyper attention that comes with being a K-idol or whatever. So I'm going to use an avatar. I'm going to be a VTuber. And I just want to do that. And that's how they do it. That's fine, because then that's the person's choice. Just like with I was considering that if that happened with Superkind, where the person behind Sejin and the other one, could not be bothered to look up its name, was like someone that they actually trained with, and then for whatever reason, like, actually, I don't know if I want to. Can I just have like an avatar? Can I just be AI? And the company's like, sure, like if that happened, then yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad. It'd be kind of odd, but that would be their choice. If that's not the case, it's not some human being engaging in the industry in a way that affords them more privacy, or for whatever reason they would decide to do that. It's the AI over humans. And I am not a fan. Tech people are trying to destroy the world. You can't change my mind. So what do you think? You lovely person watching right now, are you excited for MIDNATT? Are you a fan of Maeve? Is Sejin your favorite member of Superkind? If so, I hope you feel insulted. I would love to hear your reasons why I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm fear-mongering, please explain, because I would love to not be upset. It's kind of a vibe, feeling upset over things sometimes, your caveman brain, it's like, it's into it. But like, it's cool to not have to worry about things and people. And I'm such a motherly person. I worry about people and things all the time. And so if you think that this isn't as bad as it sounds, as bad as I made it sound, whatever, please explain why. Or if you don't really care and you're just hyped for a new track, I would still love to hear from you. If there's anything else that you want me to talk about, drop it in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, help your girl out. That's all from me for now. Thanks for watching.